Hello everyone and welcome to Battle of the Beasts All Generation episode number 52. I'm Adam and today I got two more beast fights now for a spot in round 2. And they're both from the new generation as well. And to sum up what this is, from the new generation tournament, one of these beasts died in round 1 and started an entire cult around this beast. Which was probably one of the best parts from the new generation tournament because of that cult. So the beast is back to claim more victims. However, his opponent made it to the final 7. Oh dear. So with that, let's introduce the beast. So, representing Series 21, The Sorcerer's Revenge. Book number 1, Grymon, the Biting Horror. And representing Series 26, The Four Masters. Book number 2, Mallix, the Silent Stalker. So with this, we have a rather good battle here, really. And we're going to do it in a wood-themed, like a forest-themed arena, because they're both fought in a foresty area, kinda. Now, unfortunately, Grymon had died in round 1 of the new generation tournament. Lost to Drogon, the Jungle Menace. And after that, it started a whole cult from this one person just saying of how justice for Grymon shall be made, and so on and so forth. He was also saying that in this tournament, Grymon will show the true power that he contains. He's fighting the beast that was in the final 7. And is arguably the favourite to win of the new generation tournament as well. So, unfortunately, that is just a bad matchup. But hopefully, Grymon can at least give a good fight. I'm not saying he can't. I'm just saying that, okay, the narration needs to be in his favour for Grymon to even win. But unfortunately, I think we all know where this is going. But I'll try my best to give it a good fight anyway. But with that, let's get to the stats. Okay, we're back now. And we're going to start things off with the weaknesses. So Grymon's one and only weakness doesn't mean that he is immune to everything else. But his weakness, according to the Beast Quest wiki, is neck snapping. Grymon's neck can snap by falling onto his head from a decent height. Okay. And Mallix's weaknesses are venom resistance limit. There's a limit in how much Mallix can be resistant to venom, as he was put to sleep after getting hit by a large amount of sleeping venom. Reversion, if Mallix is put to sleep, he reverts back to his good form. So Mallix is a good beast. Unfortunately, that doesn't prove anything. So with that, Grymon versus Mallix. Let's get into the fight. So as both beasts exit from their chamber doors, Grymon instantly burrows down into the ground and starts making his way underground, just creating a variety of tunnels for him to get around and creating a bunch of pit traps for Mallix to fall into. Mallix slithers out with one big head. Doesn't seem to see Grymon, but sees a bunch of mounds just making their way round, like something is moving down in there. And what Mallix does, he decides to slither up a tree and wait to see what happens. Grymon bursts out of the ground and knocks over a few trees whilst he's coming out, looking for his opponent. Mallix sees Grymon and shoots a jet of venom directly towards him. And Grymon sees that and decides to slash a tree and use the trunk to deflect it. Then he slashes at the tree that Mallix is on, and that starts to tumble. And as it's tumbling towards Grymon slashes it again and headbutts the tree to knock it back the other way. Mallix is able to get off safely and slithers up to Grymon to just bite him and kill him right then and there. But Grymon is a bit too ahead of him there, and using his tendrils, grasps onto Mallix's head and constricts in the mouth so he can't shoot his venom out. And using his claw, slashes Mallix's neck, decapitating Mallix. The body falls flat and the head goes limp. He lets go of the head and is already satisfied with his very quick and easy victory. Foreshadowing? No. So Mallix's body starts to wiggle around, and then suddenly 4 heads sprout out. Grymon stares in confusion, shock, and terror at the same time, as the Mallix head seems to just laugh in satisfaction. Grymon instantly burrows back down as Mallix goes to chase him. Grymon, realising that you can't really decapitate this thing, is trying to not get hit by the venom either, because he knows what's going to happen. Mallix slithers down after Grymon. All the heads targeted on that one beast, but Grymon created so many twists and turns in his tunnels, making it almost impossible for Mallix to even see him. And Grymon decides to go down a side route which he made to hide himself, as Mallix continues to slither along the main route. And Grymon just sneaks out from the side route, sees that Mallix is completely gone, and makes his way out in the other direction. Mallix, in utter anger, uses all of his heads and bashes through the roof of the cave, and just gets his way back onto the surface, and just decides to wait in some bushes near the entrance and the exit of the tunnels. Grymon is still creating tunnels going around the arena, and when he's ready, he decides to cause a ground-shattering earthquake to collapse the tunnels and cause Mallix to fall off balance as the ground collapses beneath him, dislodging all the trees as well, causing them to start tumbling down. Mallix slithers out of the way to dodge all the trees before landing on them, and Grymon bursts out of the ground, knocking Mallix aside, roaring into the arena, hoping that the trees or something has killed Mallix. However, Mallix gets back up, and we come to find out that one of Mallix's heads actually got crushed by a tree. And the Mallix heads decided to just do the easy thing and bite it off, just decapitating it already, and 4 more heads sprout out. Grymon realises that he's in trouble with this, and all the spectators just staring over there, just staring into the arena, seeing what's going to happen, realising that Grymon is going to have a bit of a tough time, and Mallix is getting more and more confident that he's going to win. Grymon doesn't really know what he's going to do, so he goes back to burrowing underground, and this time what Mallix does, he doesn't follow him this time, just continues decapitating himself over and over again. 3 more times, where 3 more heads fall off, 4 more heads sprout out. So that's 4, 4, 4, and 4, 16 heads in total for Mallix. And then they decide to shoot multiple jets of venom into the hole as it starts filling up the tunnel and goes down the tunnel that Grymon has created. Grymon sees the venom making its way towards him, and in fear he jumps up onto the surface, and is greeted by 16 Mallix heads all staring at him with joy and glee in their eyes. What's that? Okay. Sorry, I think that's the pipes in my house just making some weird noises. Yeah, weird noises. So, the Mallix heads, before letting Grymon get away, slithers up towards him and decides to wrap all their heads around one of Grymon's claws or legs and snaps it by pulling on themselves. Goes over to the other one and snaps it again, whilst Grymon's tendrils are trying to grab onto him, but Mallix is too slick and just avoiding him. Almost like Mallix intended for his head to get chopped off the first time. Grymon is roaring in pain, just like, how can he not grab him? All the spectators are cheering, because Mallix is actually outsmarting this beast. And in the far corner, we see a dark silhouetted shadow who seems to be very fond of Mallix. Just saying, my favourite part of the game, sudden death. And Mallix and all of the Mallix heads instantly rise up and bite into the side of Grymon's neck. All 16 of them, 8 on either side, bite into the side of Grymon's neck. Grymon roars in pain, but instead of actually ripping apart the flesh, they shoot venom inside of him as the wood encasing venom shoots inside of Grymon and is encasing the inside of Grymon to complete wood. Grymon is roaring in pain and agony as he's feeling all his organs starting to turn to wood. He's losing all his energy, and using his tendrils as one last resort, he tries to snap one of the Mallix heads. And it works, but there's still 15 staring at him, one of which stares him right in the eye and tears the eye clean off with his fangs. As the wood encasing venom comes out from the inside and starts going over the outside of Grymon, Grymon is still in utter fear, but also realises he can't do anything as the Mallix heads slither off, ready for the next battle. So that being said, Mallix has won, Grymon has lost. Again. If you think Grymon should have won, please leave in the comments below why you think that, and I think I'm going to get a comment about this one anyway. So I look forward to that one. But unfortunately, if I'm being completely honest, I generally do not see a way Grymon was going to win that fight. Now, I don't want to say I show bias against Grymon, because, I obviously do prefer Mallix so much more than Grymon. But it's just that Mallix has probably some of the most overpowered abilities there are. And Grymon, at the end of the day, is simply a furry version of Komodo. And while as I'm aware, Komodo made it through to the next round, but unfortunately Grymon just got a bad matchup, and unfortunately it led to him losing in round 1, yet again. But with that being said, that's all for this time. If you like what you saw, leave a like, leave a comment, don't forget to subscribe, press the little notification bell down in the corner below, and I'll see you next time.